Here we go again. Another fun night of Conan the Barbarian reading. Now, I usually just do this mostly for myself because, I mean, honestly, like, not that many people are really into comic books, and not that many people are into Conan the Barbarian, but I always have a good time reading it. So, tonight's story comes from The Savage Sword of Conan, Volume 9, and, it's a good one. Um, but this is we're gonna revisit one that I've already tonight. Wait, actually, I was gonna do one that I haven't done, but instead, I think tonight I'm gonna read an all new story that I haven't even read yet, just for the sake of keeping things fresh for me, because I mean. I read a lot of these, so tonight's story is, hang on one sec while I get to the right page. Many good stories all over the place, but tonight's rockin' tale is gonna be not that one. It's only 3 pages. Here we are. When a God Lives, by Conan the Barbarian. Or by John Buscema, doing plot and pencils. John Buscema is one of the base. So, here we go. Welcome to Orangen, city of thieves. By day, it is a bustling city with peddlers, merchants, and craftsmen going about their daily routines. But after moonrise, the city becomes the stalking ground of cutthroats and thieves. And of those who profit from the work of thieves. Got something you're wanting to sell me, have you, lad? Well, come on then, boy. Let's have a gander at it. What do you think? I've got all night? Queer little giga, isn't it? Probably not worth much. All the same, as long as you're here, I suppose I may as well give it a closer look. Not much giving you talking, are you, lad? That's very good. That's good. Now, take your average cat man, that's a thief, by the way. He can hardly wait to boast about what it is he's lifted and where it is he's lifted it from. Gennaro, are you still open, man? It's me. So it's you, Captain Tharhelm. Come in. I've just got off duty, old man. And I was hoping I could pick up those crystal goblets you've been... Of course, Captain. Of course. I've got them safely set aside for you right in my back room. In addition to being a highly regarded expert in Zamoran antiquities, old Gennaro also fences stolen goods occasionally. Did you know that, barbarian? Oh, we let him operate more or less freely. And why shouldn't we, in return, after all? He tips us off on the more significant thefts, like that priceless golden statuette you stole. The lighted candle in the window was our secret signal. Take him! Aye! That's not a very large keg you've got there, dog. Still, it ought to be big enough to stuff your carcass into. Once we've cut... Smacked in the face. Conan has yet to say a single fucking word, by the way, because that's how cool he is. Use your shields! Your shields! Aye, and watch out. With his free hand, he's reaching for by Ishtar's bosom. However many of you blithering incompetents can it possibly take to carve that wild man? Don't worry, Captain. However many it takes, we've got them. Crom's fiends! The loss of that odd little bauble I stole must have made some august citizen awfully angry indeed. Look, he's retreating. Making for the back room. We'll have him cornered now, like a rat in a trap. Blast! Please, I beg you. Please don't slay me. The back door, you deceitful old fool. Back door? There is no back door. I swear it. Bah, a slimy rat like you wouldn't. Crom's favors. The ceiling. Pray this trapdoor open safely on the roof, you old weasel, or as Crom is my witness. I'll be back. That's it, Captain. We're through. Gone. You must be a wizard as well as a... No, the roof. He's climbed through the roof. After him. The guardsmen's steeds are heavily lathered and exhausted from a night's hard tour of duty. But with the blood-hungry guardsmen clambering feverishly after him through the trap door, These haggard mouths represent the only true chance of escape the Cimmerian has. And so he takes it. And in the very nick of time. To your steeds, blast you fools! To your steeds! He's already proven he can outfight you. You'd better pray he doesn't prove he can outride you. From the meadow cities of Shem to the bamboo forests of Kitai, there is no greater horseman in the world than Conan the Barbarian. There's no greater anybody, for that matter. But having opened up this narrow lead, the barbarian's mount now teeters on the very brink of collapse. And slowly, surely, the vengeful battalion of guardsmen begins closing the gap. You've done the best you could for me, my equine friend, but now I'll be best off striking out on my own. Holy Ishtar, look! Archer! Bring him down! Blast, he's all but out of range. Does that mean we turn back, Captain? You lazy whelp. It means we climb. But he must have been sired by a hill panther, Captain. Look, he's already reached the summit. Do you think me blind, fool, that I can't see that for myself? Let another shaft fly, and quickly, while he's still in sight. Aye, Captain. Forgive me, my Captain. I missed him. Missed him, aye, but you made him swerve hard to dodge that one. And praise Mitra, he's lost his footing. He's going down. He's hurtled to certain doom on the far side of the cliff. Time to go home then, eh, Captain? Stay right where you are, guardsmen. We're not any of us going anywhere till we're sure that swine's dead. It's gotten too dark for any more climbing tonight. We'll bivouac here atop this ledge. Meantime, several hundred cubits below the hilltop summit, the Cimmerian is musing to himself that he's never fully appreciated the true worth of forest vines before, swiftly extricating himself from the verdant tangle. He glides upward toward the top of a lofty oak in hopes of obtaining a clearer view of his surroundings. But the sky is now nearly ink black, and the dense forest canopy thwarts even his raptor-keen eyes. Little to do then but stake out as congenial a perch as possible and sleep. Dawn bursts over the Kazankian mountains to the east like hammered gold, bathing the granite cliffs in a mind-stunning palette of rose and crimson hues. And the verdant splendor of the forest, virid, I guess. The thrumming pulse of nighttime gives way, at last, to the raucous cacophony of day. For the Cimmerian, last night's weariness has now been supplanted by a gnawing hunger. And by a desire to find his way out of this thickly wooded morass. That's it. Steady now. Hold your footing, one step at a time. Blast! With lion grace, the barbarian whirls and lopes away into the verdant fastness. For more than an hour he races onward, never pausing to rest, never slackening his pace. And then, Yah! Merciful Mitra! Lead us away from here, Captain, please. The forest dwellers have begun setting traps to slay us. Craven fools. Can't you even tell a simple animal snare when you see one? Now close ranks and let's move out. I mean to bring back that thieving Cimmerian, whether it's dead or alive. He does not fucking think so. You heard the captain. Close ranks. Zalot, bring up the rear. Aye. What the fuck is that? Is that a head trap? Got caught in a head trap. I don't know what that is. Aye, and keep your eyes peeled for that Cimmerian. He's probably the craftiest devil we've ever had to fight. Meanwhile, several leagues distant, a peccary grazes peacefully in the stream. By the eye of Erlich, I am famished! He roars, charging at the bison, or pigs, whatever. They run and squeak. Got you, by Crom. Now my belly's aching as good as Crom's teeth! Its hind leg crushed in Conan's steely grip. The peccary squeals in pain and terror. And then the Cimmerian plunges his blade home, squeals no more. Soon, he's got himself a pig. But up in the trees, some bro's watching him. While at the selfsame instant, put some spring in your step, blast you. We'll catch up with that wild-maned berserker soon enough. Aye, Captain. Aye, and lined with needle-sharp stake... Oh, wait, no. I only... Huh? Those dead leaves. It's a pitfall. Aye, and lined with needle-sharp stakes smeared with dung. I'd like to hear the captain call that an animal trap. And look at the rear column. Zealot, remember? He was bringing up the rear. He's gone. Vanished. We're being culled out and slaughtered, one by one. Bah. And so what if there are a few hostile natives hereabouts? What do you have me do about it? Abandon our mission? Ha! A fine idea. Then His Majesty could have us all impaled on stakes as a lesson to other guardsmen of the folly of displaying cowardice in the field. I want that barbarian, and I mean to have him. Do you understand me? Now form a column and move out. Aye, Captain. They're like, you ain't gonna make it out of these woods, dude. Meantime, Conan's eating some delicious pig. He's loving that. Ha! Behold the Outlander. He's wild-maned and tawny-skinned, like Amra the lion. Huh? Ah, yes. And his appetite is one of Amra's also. Give us your sword, Amra, and mayhap we will spare your miserable life. Awfully far from your native veldt, aren't you, Cushite? This forest is our home, Amra. So it has been for hundreds of years, ever since the war chief Mabundi Baugli banished our forefathers from the grasslands of Kush. But enough of such prattling. Good steel is scarce here. Give us your sword. You have a fine sense of humor, Cushite. I admire that in a man. Impertinent, bronze-fleshed, outland jackal. I'll run... Ugh! Crom's devils. I didn't realize you displaced Cushites wanted my sword that badly. They are pissed. All of them. They're short and pissed. Ah! Come on, then, you pack of howling forest hyenas, and I'll let you have every inch of it, all the way to the hilt. Whew, that's a saucy thing to say. Slay Amra! Slay the lion! Our golden-haired goddess will praise us for slaying this outlander. Already he has brought with him a horde of helmeted warriors to slaughter our pride and overrun our lands. The Cimmerian's first instinct is to grit his teeth and stand his ground against the entire screeching, blood-mad horde. But in the Hyborian age, as Conan well knows, longevity is not a quality attained by the reckless, and so it is that he abruptly breaks off the battle and dashes for the cover of the sheltering underbrush. And for the howling tribal horde, however, let it not be said they intend to let their bronze-thewed quarry escape so easily. Should he elude us, our golden-haired goddess will surely punish us. What in the devil? Blast me for a fool! Crom knows the barbarian has been in plenty of deadly predicaments before this one. In precious few of them, however, has he been compelled to confront so directly the imminent prospect of his own demise. There is no time to cut the snare. The forest dwellers would have him skewered before he hit the ground. Which means the only satisfaction remaining is that of being able to take a few more of these little banshees with him when he dies. But then, suddenly, while the Cimmerian is thus preoccupied with hacking to ribbons those of his adversaries who venture too close. Ha! Aye, the lion is ours now. Ugh! Dazed though he is, it still takes more than a score of tribesmen to pummel the Cimmerian into unconsciousness. And then, hold! Let us take the black-maned one back to our goddess. Ha! She will sacrifice our blue-eyed Amra to placate the demon god Grach. How much time has passed by the time he regains consciousness, the Cimmerian will never know. But the first sight that greets his eyes is of a rude village and mud straw huts. Crom. Huddled within the darkling shadow of the ruined, crumbling temple edifice, which, to the extent of the Cimmerian may be said to be any judge of such things, would appear to have been erected and then abandoned by the ancient Gemrite people who first founded Zamora several millennia ago. The barbarian strains mightily against his balance, but his Herculean efforts serve only to tighten the knots further and make the rawhide thongs cut even more deeply into his wrists. Finally, very soon you shall meet our golden-haired goddess, Amra. Now, huge-muscled one, move. It's in that instant that Conan sees it. The monstrous statue, which is identical in every contour and detail to the head of on the barbarian's own purloined statuette. And yet it seems uncannily lifelike, this great statue, as though at any moment it might spring to life, unleashing an ear-splitting bellow of hatred and rage. Unless a hastened doom is what you desire, Outlander, you had best turn your head away. For it is forbidden to all but the goddess Persephone and her shaman priest Kwasuthu to gaze full into the countenance of Ugrach the doom god. Now, black-maned one, let me hear it from your own lips. For what foul purpose do you trespass on our peaceful land? I've arrived here through no choice of my own, woman, but only by chance, in the course of endeavoring to elude my enemies.
Lies! All lies! This fiend is at the helm of an invasion force, come here for the purpose of subjugating our people. Do you actually believe us so empty-headed and foolish as to be unaware of your column of armed soldiers marching even now across our soil?
If it's the guardsmen you fear, I'll only return me my sword and I'll gladly help you destroy them.
Bah, we'll be needing no help from the likes of you. We are a mighty people. With Ugruk's help, we will crush our enemies.
Revered goddess, this fell from the invader's belt while we sought to subdue him. A tiny statuette forged of gold. And its visage is Ugruk's visage. There can be no doubt about it. But the body none of us have ever seen.
Ha! If you need proof of my judgment of this outlander, you have it here. This sacred idol was stolen from the very temple during the age of our ancestors. It is fabled to possess vast powers for communicating with the very soul of the demon god. For having defiled his godly symbol, your blood shall be shed on the altar of Ugrak. And as for your friends, mark my words, outland scum, they will all die.
Nightfall. Chained to a post. That shadow. Who? It is I, barbarian. I have come here at this late hour because I want you to tell me whether Kwasuthu is right when he says you have come here to seize our land and enslave our people. I've answered that question already, girl. Now I'd like to hear what you're doing here in this place. For all wager, you're no more a goddess than I am. You're right, barbarian. I was kidnapped as a child and brought here many years ago. Of my life in the outside world, I can remember almost nothing. Kwasuthu merely uses me to enthrall his tribespeople. He calls me a goddess, but it is he who truly wields the power here. Other men have tranced upon this place from time to time, but never have I felt so drawn to any of them as I am to you. Then sever my bonds, girl, unless you and I flee this godforsaken place. Flee? You mean leave Ugrak's temple forever?
But what if Kwasuthu should learn our plan?
What if? Would be 50 leagues gone by the time he learned anything, girl. And besides, the last thing in the world that wild-eyed shaman will be interested in doing will be to abandon his forested enclave in order to pursue us to the world beyond the cliffs. And if I do set you free and go with you, will you stay with me always? Always is a long time, girl, but good enough.
Persephone, where are you? I bring you joyous news. Ugrak has granted us a glorious victory over our invaders. We have kept by Ugrak's plague. Troll, slattern, what manner of sacrilege has been going on here?
Kwasuthu, please,
silence and be gone from my sight this instant, lest I call down upon you the fearsome wrath of Ugrak himself.
You're thinking that I'm a fool to have pursued you here, aren't you, Sumerian? But even that statuette had been made of tin. It would have been my duty to bring you back.
Silence, infidel! Or else I shall command you be slain instead of waiting to sacrifice you and your men to the greater glory of Ugrak.
'Twill mean your death if you do either, old man. Because you see, we're merely the advance guard for an army of thousands that will annihilate you all if any of us are harmed. He's a slick dude, this guy.
Thousands? Ha! Then let them come. The power of Ugrak will destroy them all. Guard them carefully. Upon pain of death, they must not escape.
As you command, O shaman. Don't worry, Sumerian. We'll get out of here. And when we do, you're coming back to Oranjin with me.
Hear me, Ugrak, holy of holies. Hear your faithful priest, Kwasuthu. The day has been both great and glorious. Through your guidance and inspiration, the enemies of our people have been ignominiously defeated. This sacred idol, so long lost to us, has been restored to your hallowed temple. Our people rejoice in your holy name.
The following evening, a full moon soars aloft in the heavens. Conan and the Zamorans are led from their dark, dank place of imprisonment to the cavernous central temple chamber, housing the gargantuan statue of the demon god Ugrak. On the altar of sacrifice, bind them. And now, let the age-old rite of sacrifice begin.
O Ugrak, Prince of Blackness, Overlord of all demons, Hear me. The evildoers who invaded your lands and purloined your sacred image are about to be dispatched to you as tribute in the place where you dwell, in the land of the dead. Are you ready, O goddess, to carry out the holy ritual of death?
I am ready, O shaman priest of Ugrak. Ready to purify our sacrificial offerings with the sacred unguents, to make their bodies and souls fitting gifts to appease the almighty wrath of Ugrak.
I beg of you, please. I don't want my life to end this way. Cease your sniveling, guardsmen, and let me see you die like a man.
One by one, the captains are anointed with the sacred oils. And then, now that your sacred golden image has been restored to us, Ugrak,
we know that our supplications will reach you as never before.
But then the lady hands him a dagger. Conan, that is, of course.
For our legends have taught us that this tiny statuette which I hold in my hand is the key that will unlock the doors to the labyrinthine passageways, leading us to the ineffable essence of your netherworldly, godly soul.
Sweet Ishtar, that knife. Where in Mitra's name did you get it?
Now that all of your victims have been anointed, Ugrak, we only ask that you grant us some small sign that you look favorably and find them worthy.
We beseech you, O Ugrak, find them worthy. Praise to all the gods, my black-maned savior is free.
Devotees of Ugrak, behold, the sacrifices have broken free.
They must not escape. If the demon god is denied this living tribute, he will surely bring doom upon us all. Stop them. They must
Ah!
What now, barbarian? Surely you don't intend for us to take on the entire howling horde of them. The Sumerian pays no heed whatever to the captain's prattling. For he is a sellsword, a reaver, a slayer, a man whose every fiber and instinct spur him to battle onward for victory, no matter the odds. As for pessimism and defeatist blather, he is more than content to leave that to tamer men. In any age, most men live passive, desperate lives, responding timorously to opportunity as well as misfortune. But a rare few men seize command of their lives, and so by doing, achieve a mastery over circumstances that enables them to transcend their age. Can there be any doubt at all as to which manner of man is Conan the Cimmerian?
Grab up some fallen weapons, blast you. Here they come.
Let's show both these cursed idol worshippers and that berserker of a barbarian that Zamoran guardsmen can also fight.
Gah! O mighty Ugrak, come to our aid. Somehow our intended sacrificial victims have contrived to break free of their bonds. They must... Oh, no. What manner of impossible vision have I now begun seeing? Am I now grown so feeble and ancient that my eyes have begun to behold things that do not exist, or have the dark forces of Juju residing within Ugrak's golden idol somehow brought the demon god to life? Aye?
Who can say what weirdling powers, lurking within the tiny statuette, have been suddenly responsible for reawakening this gargantuan monster, so to renewed life after eons of entombment in a death-like sleep? Who can conjure up the reason why, having broken free of its monumental prison, it now turns its full unrestrained ferocity on the very folk who have for so long made it the object of their veneration and worship? 'Tis the very question which the shaman priest Kwasuthu is shrieking at the very top of his lungs, even as the tentacled behemoth mashes him to gore against the temple wall.
Forget the sacrifices. Ugrak means to destroy us all. Mantle of Mitra. Save me, Captain! Save me! Barbarian!
I see you, girl.
Please, my black-maned one, hurry! Before the demon god's wild thrashings bring these very walls crashing down upon us all. No! Persephone! Persephone! Oh!
Hang on, girl. Just hang on. I'll have you out of there in a...
Flee! Flee! Ah!
She is dead. Even as the Cimmerian gently cradles the limp and battered corpse of the goddess in his powerful arms. The monster's horrifying rampage is nearing an apocalyptic zenith of death and destruction. Badass monster this time, too. Small wonder that only nymphal and resourceful few men are destined to escape the avalanching tomb of terror alive. And as for the tiny golden statuette, whose eldritch link with the monster has somehow given rise to this cataclysmic night of terror, it too now is gone forever. As for the horror, it lurches suddenly backward, emitting soul-rending shrieks of indescribable pain. Deprived now of the magic force that sustained it, it staggers blindly about in its death throes, uprooting the temple's columns, shattering what little remains of its walls, until naught remains but a dreary round of rubble, from beneath which issue the last faint moans of doomed and dying men. I might have known you'd make it out alive, barbarian. Every last one of my guardsmen lies crushed beneath those stones because of you, and yet despite that, I still think it would be in our mutual interest to declare a truce between ourselves, at least till we've gotten safely away from here. Soon. You may have been birthed by a mountain goat, Cimmerian, but I'm afraid I won't be able to make it without a helping hand. I'll not forget this, barbarian, I promise you, and I'll see that you receive proper credit for it once we're back in our engine. It's all downhill from here, isn't it, Cimmerian? Aye. Which means you ought to have no difficulty making it back on your own. You're forgetting something, aren't you, barbarian? Forgetting that you're still a fugitive from Zamoran justice. That I've sworn an oath to bring you back. I don't want you to think it's anything personal, this barbarian. As a man, you're... Why, you insolent dog! Turning your lowborn back on me, are you? Thinking to escape? I'll teach... Oof! Smacked him right in the face. The end. The end of the story. Thanks for joining me for the reading of Savage Sword of Conan the Barbarian. I do this every Sunday at 10 o'clock p.m. I've been pretty consistent lately, so I'll have another cool story for you guys next week. And I hope you enjoyed it, and have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope your week is bright and good and full of positive things that make you feel affirmations about your existence. Because God knows we all need them. All right. Bye.